All right, it's been a long time. I'm so sorry that I keep disappearing. It's just, life happens. But here we are. Sorry I'm looking this way. I'm looking at my computer. But we're gonna go ahead and get into another video of what's sold within the 90-day time frame. Looking for 100% sell-through rate according to eBay. As usual, I like to say the math is not going to math, okay? And that is because we have a lot of little variables in there that I'm not discussing that will change the profit outcome. What I'm going to give you is how much they paid for the item, my costs for the item, and the profits after costs are done, but we're not including taxes. Taxes are personal depending on your own state, so just know that these profit margins are before taxes. All right, so let's go ahead and get into it and discuss what has sold recently. Okay, so this first item was sold on Poshmark. Once again, you probably can hear my kids. You guys know I'm a mom. There's a lot of noise around here, so beware of that. But back to what I'm saying, Express shirt here. It was a Pride shirt. It was had like the alphabets on it for LGBTQ, and I figured it would go decently fast. I bought this before Pride Month, and it did. It sold pretty fast. Not for the greatest amount of money, but I didn't expect much from this whatever Express shirt. Not to mention it was like a small size. But it did sell on Poshmark in 63 days. It only sold for $16. Like I said, I wasn't expecting a lot, but that was okay because I only paid $1 for this. 99 cents actually, but I rounded up to $1. And the fees for this were $3.20. So I made a profit of $11.80 on that shirt. Next is One World, and I've talked about this in a past video. This is a brand that stylistically can do well as long as you're picking up for cheap enough. So I don't recommend picking it up for like $4, $5, anything like that. I'd probably keep it like $3 less, preferably around $1 if you can. But as you can see here, it was a One World Live and Let Live midi dress, animal print, red. It was a really interesting piece. So it sold on eBay in 31 days for $20. Now my cost of goods was higher than that $3 point because this is when I was testing it. I was just grabbing a few whenever I came across them to test how they do. So I paid $3.39 for it. And the fees were $4.06. So I made a profit of $15.07 on that dress. Next is another Old Navy item. They're still selling, guys. And this Old Navy sold, first it was a midi dress. It was the cottage core vibe, tiered boho, button up. It was like full button front, I believe. It had pockets, which women love, flowy, all those kind of keywords. It sold on eBay in 4 days for $30. So that is a great turnaround. I paid $5.29 for the dress. The fees were $5.50, and I made a profit of $21.72 on that Old Navy dress. Okay, so this one is an outlier, and I'm going to talk about it anyways. I'm going to try to throw in a few outliers because I get really bad at not doing that. But this sold outside of the 90-day window that we want to discuss, but it was a significant turnaround. So as long as it's significant, I'd still want to mention it to you guys. And it was a it was a Talbot's twill knit blazer jacket, military style, gold buttons, very, very specific style. I thought it would sell faster, but that's okay. It didn't, but it did sell on Poshmark in 136 days. So obviously outside of 90 days, but I made $54 on it, which I think is a great profit, or a great purchase price. And I paid $6.99 for it. The fees, Poshmark's heavy fees, $10.80. So I made a profit of $36.21 on that jacket. Okay, back to the 90 days or less time frame. We're looking at an tongue-tied. We're looking at an Express bodycon sequin dress. These do sell regularly from what I've seen on the comps. However, they don't sell for much, and that was pretty evident here. But still, I was like, it's gonna be a quick, easy sell, so I'll take it. So I say keep an eye out for these geometric looking sequiny type dresses if you can get them for a low enough cost. Now, I sold on eBay in 42 days for $20. I originally paid $4 for it. The transaction fees were $4.22. It did sell on promotion for $1.55. So my profit margin at the end of it was $12.74. Okay, next we have another Old Navy dress. And I'll keep picking these up as long as they keep selling. So this was an Old Navy maxi dress, size 3X, which is a great size. Cottage core, log and look, smocked, boho, tiered, woven, ruffles, lots of great keywords to stuff in there. And it sold on Poshmark in 22 days for $25. So These are becoming great bread and butters. Some of them do make more than bread and butter prices, but for the most part, you're gonna get some nice bread and butters. Cost of goods was $5.99, and the transaction fees were, or the seller fees were $5. So I made a profit of $14.01 after all of the fees and things. I'm starting to lean more into style-based pickups than necessarily how fast they're flipping, because I'm finding that a good amount of them still flip within the 90-day time frame, and it requires less lookup. I know that's treading dangerous grounds, dangerous water, to like not look everything up when you leave the store, before you leave the store. But a lot of these things I just keep up with trends and I go on a hunch, and a lot of them do return a great profit for me. Bread and butter or more. So that's kind of what you're seeing going on here. Though we've seen, like including in Kaylee's video, that these Old Navy dresses do have a sell-through rate that's really good. So keep that in mind about these, but you'll see some shifts in the way I'm doing things lately. It's also easier on me as a mom. Okay, so next we have a Ralph Lauren silk maxi skirt, and this was such a cool piece. It was very Y2K. It was a size 12. It had a lot of really cool things going for it. So stylistically, once again, this is something that was going to do great, and it did. I sold it on eBay in 5 days for $39, and honestly, I didn't think I would get that much for it, so I was happy to take almost $40 for this skirt. I paid $5.29 for it, and the seller fees were $6.31. I shouldn't have put it on promotion, but I did because I think that day I just put a bunch of stuff on promotion. So it was an extra $2.39, but I think it would have sold on its own. So I made $26.53 on that sale. Okay, next we have a Hello Molly midi dress in a size 12 or large. It was a really cute dress, and I thought stylistically it would do great. Hello Molly seems to be like hit or miss as far as if it's going to sell. But I felt pretty confident in this specific dress. I don't remember seeing others with this cut. I don't know if any were listed. I can't remember. So I kind of just priced it off of a feeling of what it should go for and looking at all the other comps. And I was like, I feel like this design stands out compared to the other Hello Molly dresses listed. And it seems I was right. It sold on Poshmark in 33 days for $30. And I paid $5 for it. The fees on Poshmark were $6. So I made $19 on that dress. Next we have a vintage candy rocket dress, and I knew this was going to sell. It was very, 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 very Y2K on trend. Part of me questions if I should have listed it for more. It was dead stock with the tag, and it was a size 2K. It was floral. It was like the fairy core vibe. It had a lot going on for it. Coquette too, very coquette. So I don't know, maybe I should have posted it for more, but I had a lot of interest. I did have people send me offers that I felt were too low for it. I was not willing to accept below 40 for this dress. And finally somebody did on Poshmark after 30 days send me a $40 offer, which was just below what I actually, because you guys know I like to Forex everything. So I think I needed $44 because I paid, let's see, $10.99 for it. So yeah, I did need $44, but 40 was close enough. So yeah, I paid $10.99 for it. The fees were $8 on Poshmark, so I made $21.01 on that sale. But yeah, the fairy core Y2K vibe is such a hot commodity that I probably should have priced up. Those dresses are going for a good amount of money, so yeah. Okay, this next one, I'm gonna tell you guys the good and the bad, okay? And this was a bad. The dress wasn't bad, but I made a huge seller mistake, and we'll talk about it. But this was a Zara satin slip dress, size large, is what I put. And it was midi tie-dye halter backless cocktail, 90s style, slightly grunge. There was a lot of great keywords to go off of for this, and I knew it would sell fast, and it did. It sold on eBay in 27 days for $30. Let's see here. The cost of goods for me was $4. The seller fees were $5.71, and it was sold on a promotion for $2.15. I did that because it was Zara, you know. It was more about the style. So I did make $21.06 on this sale. However, it was almost a return. I don't know why they changed their mind, but this dress was actually a size small. I don't know how I made that mess up, but I did. This is why we should always double check our work. It was a size small dress, so when she received it, she was really upset with me threatening all the things about bad reviews and everything, and it was my mistake. I thought she was overreacting, but still I responded with kindness saying, hey, you're welcome to return it. I'll pay for return shipping. I'll refund everything. And then I didn't hear from her. And I was waiting and waiting and she never sent it back, and then I got a good review, like she was thanking me. Maybe she gave it to someone she knows, maybe someone else bought it off of her. I don't know, but suddenly she had a change of heart. She was very nice and gave me a nice review, and that was the end of that story. Next we have Le Fleur, and this is a brand that sells itself. It doesn't need help. It was just a blouson style blouse, size medium. They sent me they gave me a good review, but the review said I had the color wrong. But even when you look at it, I'm like, no, this thing is, you know, she might have been right. I must have been going off the pictures. It was like I don't know. I wrote that it was blue, but she was claiming it was like a deep dark forest green, but she still liked it nonetheless. This was, I'm not gonna lie, this was, May was an extremely rough month for me, and that's when I listed a lot of this. I made a lot of mistakes because my mind was boggled down with life. So I realized I made a lot of mistakes, and honestly, I did things that produced less income because my brain just couldn't think straight till I could sort out the issues going on. So it was a really rough month, so we might see more mistakes if I remember them. But nonetheless, it sold on eBay in $1 for one day for $40. I paid $5.29 for it, and the transaction fee was, or seller fee was $6.46. I made a profit of $29.88 on that shirt. I do also have other Le Fleur items to put up. I just have to get some stains out of them before I list them from that same shopping trip. Okay, next we have ModCloth, and this was a really cute dress. Now with ModCloth, you never know what you're gonna get price-wise. Some of them do better than others. And I don't know, I feel like it's hard to tell which ones are gonna do better than the others. Oh, my back. One of the problems I've had is major back spasms, and my back is hurting right now. But this one was really cute with the little daisies on it. So it was a ModCloth dress. I think it was like knee length, if I remember right, 1X. It was chambray. It had these little embroidered daisies on it, boho cottagecore type thing. It was textured with a woven threading, I guess. And it sold on eBay in 48 days for $26. I was hoping to get more, but I think because it was a shorter dress, it just wasn't going to go for as much. Matter of fact, was this a return? I'm trying to remember. I believe this got returned and sold again. Did it? I don't remember off the top of my head. I guess if you hear this again in a future video, you'll know, because I feel like this was a return. Because she said it didn't fit her. But regardless, at this moment, it was $26 I had paid $4.99 for it. The seller fees were $5.13, promotional was $1.92, so I made a profit of $16.88 on that dress. Next we have a Madewell item. It was a cropped sweater size small. Honestly, it was a bad buy. It was a bad buy, but it was only $1, so it was one of those things where I was like, I know I'll make my money back, but it was a size small and very plain, so maybe it wasn't a bad buy because obviously it sold fast, but I feel like it was a bad buy. At the end of the day, something I wouldn't usually pick up. I just get excited when I see dollar items. But it sold on eBay in 25 days for, no, it was bad. Here we go, $8.99. And I was like, I don't think I'm gonna get anything better on this, so I'm gonna take it. I'm gonna take this low ball and I'm gonna get it out of here. So I did. And I'd only paid $1, so I knew I was gonna make some sort of profit back, and I did. So the fees were $2.83. So by the time I got it shipped and everything, I actually made $8.08 on it. So I barely, what is that, 91 cents is all I'm lacking from that $8.99 after all the variables. So, you know, whatever. It was out quick, and I'll just not buy it again if I ever see it. Okay, so was this the first time or the second time? This was the first time. This was a return as well. It was one of those seasons where eBay was just difficult. There were a lot of returns. And this is an Armani Colezioni shirt. It's a size extra large, Italian made, very minimal type button-up shirt. And it sold on eBay in 10 days. Since then it has sold again, which will be in a future video. But this time around it sold for $40.50. I had paid $5.29 for it. And the transaction fees were $6.96. So my profit on it would have been $30.76, but they did return it and they were refunded minus the shipping. Okay, this next one was an interesting dress I found. I've never came across this brand before when shopping and sourcing, but I did come across it this time. And that is an ecru silk shift dress, size extra large, ombre. It was an asymmetric hemline, a very bohemian, artsy type thing, and it was 100% silk. So it had a lot of great things going for it. The brand seemed to sell pretty pricey items when I found its website, so I put a random price up. I don't remember how much I put up, but it still sold on Poshmark in 17 days. I did get lowball offers that I skipped over, And finally someone and I came to an offer agreement of $37, and I paid $5.29 for this dress. The fees were $7.40, which I feel like is high, but whatever. And I made $24.31 on this dress. All right, that's everything I'm going to share on this video here, but I have more coming. I'm going to go ahead and film a few of these what sold videos to get caught up, but feel free to check out this video here, and I'll see you over on that video.